Family, welcome to the Africa Diaspora News Channel. My name is Lynient Akotonou making this report. So yes, US leaves WHO. By WHO, we are talking about World Health Organization. The US is no longer a part of an organization it's created, it's founded. What happened? Why did they leave all of a sudden? So we're looking at the reasons why they left. So we're looking at the reasons why President Donald Trump pulled out of the World Health Organization and some of the reactions from all this. But let's watch some of the reactions, family, and then we'll come back to talk about it.
The United States just withdrew from the WHO, the World Health Organization. The American pullout game is surprisingly good in all the wrong places. I mean, haven't we learned that bacteria and viruses do not care about borders? I'm sorry, but you cannot deport a virus. By pulling out, we're going to have less access to data, less ability to innovate, and less ability to prepare if anything were to happen, and less influence on global policy, which in turn means others will be able to exert more influence. All to say that Americans may be at greater risk if something big in health were to happen. But I fully recognize that the WHO hasn't been perfect. There are a lot of things that could be improved upon. What we all need to realize is that we're not going to feel the effects of this tomorrow or next week. We might feel this in decades, okay? Like a lot of the other decisions that are being made, we're not feeling the true impact of it until much farther down the road.
Well, family, the World Health Organization functions in various aspects, like providing critical global health leadership by coordinating responses to health emergencies. And that's not all. It also sets international health standards, and it drives initiative for universal health coverage. It also works to prevent infectious disease outbreaks. It gives updates on them. It strengthens national health systems and promotes healthier lives from pregnancy to old age. Now, why would President Donald Trump withdraw the US from this organization?
People don't realize how this is going to affect them. And honestly, I don't fully blame them because it's difficult to understand. It is hard to see the downstream effects of decisions like this. Most people are going to wake up tomorrow morning and think, nothing in my life has changed whatsoever. And that is true in the short term. There won't be this immediate, obvious impact that you can actually measure and say, this was it. But 10 or 20 years from now, we're going to start to see ripple effects from this decision. Let me give you one concrete example. So the World Health Organization runs the largest global surveillance system for antimicrobial resistant infections. This system tracks where dangerous drug resistant pathogens are emerging and spreading across the world, including the United States. So do you know when you go to the hospital and you have this infection, they give you an antibiotic and it works and you leave? Antibiotic resistance is whenever it doesn't work and you have much worse outcomes, including death. So whenever the United States pulls out, the World Health Organization loses major funding support that does the surveillance system. That means less data, weaker monitoring, and a poorer understanding of where these resistant infections are spreading and how to stop them. So over time, that means more undetected spread of these resistant infections. And 20 years from now, when someone is hospitalized with an infection that no longer responds to an antibiotic, part of that reason may trace back to this decision. So this won't hurt today. It's going to hurt whenever it's actually too late to undo this decision.
Now, the United States Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio have jointly announced the completion of U.S. withdrawal from the World Health Organization. Now, they made this announcement and it was laid down since President Donald Trump's first term in office. Yes, U.S. happens to be a founding member of this organization since 1948. Now, what's their reason? They said that the joint statement from Rubio and Kennedy, a Vesint Septic, primarily blamed the WHO's failures during the COVID-19 pandemic as the reason for the withdrawal. Now, going forward, U.S. engagement with WHO will be limited strictly to effectuate our withdrawal and to safeguard the health and safety of the American people. So, family, this is to the Americans. The U.S. is no longer part of the World Health Organization. As the U.S. Health Secretary and the U.S. Secretary of State blamed this on the failure of the WHO during the pandemic season. So we're talking about the COVID-19 outbreak. They said they were not effective enough. and they had to suffer from it. The US suffered that period. And so they do not trust the WHO's ability to really handle healthcare crisis and the likes. But family, let's look at this from another angle. Now, I also saw a report where they said they also blamed it on the political mess that's going on, that they brought politics into WHO and it's not independent anymore. It's now corrupt. Family, what do you have to say about this story? Do you think this is all to real? There's something more, because we know that whenever there is a move like this, something might have happened behind closed doors. Something actually prompted this. And they said it's their failure during the COVID-19 era, but we know there's something more. Because you don't just leave an organization. Now, we all knew what happened during the COVID-19 era and how this outbreak was beyond control. Talking about vaccination, it did not work on all. And it's not as though this COVID-19 is totally gone, family. It's not as though it's totally gone. So we're not looking at this. Why would he just leave the World Health Organization due to that? And we hear of political mess involved in all this. Family, what do you have to say about this?
Breaking news this hour, California is making history. I'm not just reporting on this because I'm in California. This is major news. The state of California officially joining the World Health Organization Coordinated Public Health Network, becoming the first U.S. state ever to do so. Governor Gavin Newsom says that this will keep California plugged into global disease tracking, outbreak alerts, as well as emergency response coordination, even without federal participation. So supporters are saying that this is a smart public health safeguard. Critics are saying that it really raises big questions about state versus federal authority. Either way, this is unprecedented, and other states, well, they may be watching closely. Have to see what our friends in Texas do. A lot of times, whatever Texas does, California does, Texas does on things like this. Couldn't be politically farther apart, but it'll be interesting. Both states really want to be their own country. So will Texas follow, or other states follow? Maybe Democrat-led states. I don't know.
Family, so while President Donald Trump withdrew the US, California went ahead to maintain their partnership with the World Health Organization, because who would warn us from the impending dangers, who would alert us on any disease or insecurity when it comes to the health sector? Well, family, that is it. California did go ahead. And we know that California is currently battling with measles, although the vaccine is out there. But we know how this has been for California. And yes, California went ahead, but President Donald Trump said he withdrew the US from the World Health Organization. Why they say it's due to the COVID-19 era? Don't you think there is more, family? Comment what you think about this, because this puts the US in, would I say, a very tight spot. I mean, America is open. There is no coverage for him to withdraw. Do you think there are infrastructures there? Do you think he has set things in place? Do you think President Donald Trump has everything covered? He's got everything covered. Comment what you think about it, and do not forget to share, like, subscribe, and turn on your notification button. And for more commentaries, download the Africa Diaspora News Channel app, family. Thank you for watching. My name is Lynient Akotonou.